Today's question, Busisiwe, all the way from South Africa. She says, how does one properly start a fasting period? How does one properly start a fasting period? What does the Bible say about fasting? What does the Bible say about fasting? The Bible tells us that there are several people, so many people in the Bible, leaders, people like us, who fasted because they wanted a deep spiritual experience with God, where they put aside fleshly concerns and they concentrate on the things of God, where they turn their they concentrate, they turn their antenna to God, and they are able to hear more from the Spirit of God without any disturbance, without any background disturbance or anything like that. So this is why most of these people fasted, and we find out that there are several people who fasted in the Bible. For example, Moses, Elijah, Daniel, Paul, and the Master himself, Jesus, did fast. Yeah, so these people fasted in the scriptures. Okay, so why did they fast? For example, Moses fasted because he had a load. He had a big load with him. God gave him the Israelites. So he had a responsibility to lead the Israelites. Okay, so God gave him the Israelites to lead them. So in order for Moses to lead the Israelites, he needed knowledge. So Moses went to the mountain. He fasted for like 40 days. He fasted 40 days and 40 nights. So there was an atmosphere of God when he was fasting. God was showing him so many things. More knowledge was imparted, and everything that God gave him, the commandments and so many things. So Moses was able to lead the Israelites with the guidance of God. So he went to fast. Jesus fasted for 40 days, 40 nights. Why did Jesus fast? You obviously know who Jesus is. Though he was, though he was godly and everything, though he came from God, he was given a flesh, he was given a body. So the same way you would be hungry, he was hungry. So Jesus came on a mission. He came on a mission, and for him to fulfill that mission, he needed power. For him to fulfill that mission, he needed to be strong. So what Jesus did was he went to the mountain, he fasted. He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, where he fasted, he was with God, and yeah, and that's how Jesus fasted. So your question is, how does one properly start a fasting period? You first have to make a decision. You have to decide that you want to fast. So you have to make a decision, and you have to have a particular prayer point. You do not fast for no reason. That actually is simple. You do not fast for no reason. You have a particular prayer point. For example, you if you are a beginner, you have not fasted, you have never fasted before, what you need to do is, before fasting, you have to pray. You have to talk to God and ask him to guide you and lead you and make you and help strengthen you. So you have to pray. And one more thing, you have to go to your pastor. You talk to your pastor at because your pastor is obviously more experienced than you, and your pastor haven't fasting, so your pastor has experience. So you talk to your pastor about it, or anyone who, any spiritual leader or anyone you have. So you talk to that person, and the person will give you guidance and help you. But before that, you have to pray. You have to ask God. You have to tell God to strengthen you. So I'm assuming that you want to fast for a period of time, which means that you want to fast continuously, because your question is, how does one properly start a fasting period? So what you have to do is that, since you are a beginner, I'm assuming you are a beginner, so what you have to do is, you have to start little by little. You have to start, you have to shorten your time. For an example, you fast 6 to 12. You do not have to fast 40 days and 40 nights like Jesus or anything like that. Since you are beginning, you have to start from a very low point, and God will lift you. God will lead you. So that's very important. Find someone who can help you out, someone who has experience, someone who fasted before. You have to pray about it. Very important, especially when you are a beginner. And have a prayer point. You have to have a prayer point. You do not fast for no reason. You do not just fast because you feel like fasting. You need to have a prayer point. Jesus said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word you man shall not live by bread alone. So fasting is actually supposed to be a life of a Christian. You do not only fast because you in trouble. You don't only fast because you there's something you want something from God, you want to ask him for something through your prayers. No, that's not why you fast. That's not why you fast. You do not fast because you want God to give you this particular thing, and you think that as because you are fasting, God will give you that particular thing. No, that's not why you fast. You should fast because you want to have a deep spiritual experience with God, and you want to put aside fleshly desires and concentrate on God. You want an atmosphere with God where God can minister to you, and you forget about the things of this world, and you just concentrate on God. So that's why you should fast. You fast because you want to turn your antenna to the things of God, which means that you want to hear from God. So that's why you should fast as a Christian. Don't fast because you want this and that. Fast, you need to fast because you want the presence of God in your life. That's very important. You want the presence of God in your life. You want God to have an impact in your life like never before. Obviously, he had an impact in your life before you fasted, but you want him even more. You're hungry for him even more, like the prophets of old. Yes. So just like Jesus fasted. Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. He was strengthened. He fulfilled his mission. He died. He resurrected, and everything that happened. So as you fast, God is going to you're going to fulfill your mission. As I said, Christianity is like a race, and there are obstacles. You need to be strong. You need the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit, you should, when you fast, the Holy Spirit's presence comes into your life. And the difference between praying in your fast and praying normally, the difference is that when you fast, obviously you you put away fleshly desires. You do not eat, like Jesus said, man shall not live by bread alone. Okay, so you do not eat, and the atmosphere, the atmosphere is different. The atmosphere is different when you fast, and it's easier for the Holy Spirit to minister to you. And yeah, so I advise you to do this, and I know that it's going to help you. I know that it's going to help you. Thank you very much for your question. God bless you.